What's the reason you're still obsessed with your ex? Before we start, comment at what time you're watching this video right now. Alright, on to the stories. 1. It's not really an obsession, it's just a really fucked up chain of events. She is the most kind, patient, loving, gentle person I've ever known, and she accepted me and my bipolar. But during one really bad episode, made worse by a bunch of things and triggers, I said horrible stuff. Truly horrible stuff. Things she probably would have forgiven. She waited for me, honestly way longer than anyone should have. But words can hurt deeper than any knife. There's more to it, but that's the main part. I did it. It's my fault. I fully accept responsibility for what I said and what it caused. It's been a long time now, and we ended up becoming friends. We still care about each other a lot, just in a different way. I wish I could go back, because I hurt her so badly, but I can't. Knowing you hurt someone that much and they still forgive you says everything about the kind of person she is. But even if someone forgives you, they can't just forget the pain or the trust you broke. I'm almost 52. Before her, I always said I'd never get married again, no matter who it was. But I would have married her. I know this sounds stupid, but she's my last. I plan to be alone for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. She was the most beautiful thing that ever came into my life. Jesus, I sound so frickin' sappy, and I'm not even a sappy person. 2. Because we never actually broke up. She died suddenly, and we never got the chance to say goodbye. 3. I wouldn't call it an obsession, but he fucked me up so badly that even now, years later, almost every part of my life is still affected by what he did. 4. Not obsessed, but not over her either. She had this way of making me feel calm, just by being there. We could be in the middle of a crowded, chaotic place, and it still felt like it was only the two of us. I had never felt anything like that before her. 5. She was the love of my life, and the reason we broke up was so stupid. We had a misunderstanding about what I needed, and because I was insanely stressed and stuck in the worst job of my life, I didn't fight for us. I let her believe the wrong thing, and that ended us. After I left that job and got my head straight again, I basically panicked when I realized how badly I'd fucked up. Now I'm just so frickin' sad. 6. Because I like collecting red flags, and red happens to be my favorite color. 7. I'm not anymore, thankfully. But when I was, it was because of the segs. Still, to this day, it was the best segs I've ever had, but I've learned that segs isn't even close to being everything. 8. Because apparently my brain thinks moving on is just some kind of cute little fairy tale. 9. I'm not even obsessed with her. She was just the love of my life. Sadly, I wasn't the love of hers. I still love her, and I think I always will. She's moved on, and I really am happy that she's happy. I hope she has a great life, even though it hurts that I'm not part of it anymore. 10. You'd think getting ghosted would tell me everything I need to know. But in my head, I keep thinking that if his dad hadn't died a few days before, maybe things would have been different. That maybe it was his grief that left me, not the guy the first fell in love with. If you're still watching, means you're enjoying the stories. Subscribe so you can look forward to more stories like these. Now on to 11. Must be cause of neurons or something. 12. I don't know if I'm really obsessed with her or more with what my life was like when I was with her. I'm not close to my own family, lots of trauma and all that. But when I met her, her family welcomed me like I was one of them. Before I realized it, I was spending more time with her family than with mine. I went to several of her siblings' weddings and basically watched her nephew grow up. Over time, though, we started drifting apart. I was chasing my own goals, getting a better job, and finally buying my own place. She, meanwhile, was still holding herself back. After some personal drama, we slowly started seeing each other less, mostly because she asked for it. Eventually, she asked if we could take a break. I agreed, even though I had a bad feeling that this was probably the end. It's been 3 months since then, and I think about her every day. I think about going over to her place, watching her nephew act like a little gremlin, and terrorize her cats. I think about how I couldn't stop smiling when she was around. I think about moving on, but I just can't bring myself to do it yet. 13. Because it honestly makes me happy to think about him suffering. After I left his dirty dick, he got hit with a long streak of bad luck. Call it karma. 14. That's a good question. I still have sexual dreams about her even though we're both married to different people now and living in different countries. 15. Stockholm Syndrome. 16. I stopped being obsessed when I realized he was trying to get me and his fiancée, the girl I was told not to worry about, to both move in with him in California without telling either of us, even though he knew we didn't like each other. 17. I wouldn't call it obsession, but he died? It was over 10 years ago, and I still catch my brain thinking about all the different things I could have done to save him. 18. She gave me insane orgasms that nobody else has managed to give me since. 19. It's actually the opposite. She cheated on me and now she's obsessed with me to the point where she's making up accusations to try to ruin my life, saying I was violent with her. I've never laid a hand on her, and never would have, especially since I'm a victim of domestic abuse. 20. I'm not anymore. I definitely dodged a bullet. Once I realized how narcissistic he was, I was like, no thanks, I'm out. It took me about a year to emotionally detach because of how things ended, but I'm honestly grateful to him because he showed me exactly what I don't want in a relationship. I even thank him for all the negative shit he did, because it pushed me to leave that toxic situation and learn my own worth. Now I'm in a happy, peaceful relationship where my new partner treats me like a queen and has been my biggest supporter while I fight through my breast cancer journey. 21. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. Guess I didn't deserve her. It still hurts. 22. I hate to admit it, but my ex is more successful than my husband. He's ambitious, makes more money, has a bigger car, a nicer house, all of that. That said, he was and still is a lying, cheating a-hole, and he ran off with my former best friend. 23. Because I'm pretty sure we still love each other. And he ended it so suddenly that I never got to really say what I needed to say. For some reason, that matters a lot to me. I feel like if he would just listen to my side, he'd understand me. Talking to friends, journaling, crying. None of it gets it out of my system. I hope I'm not crazy, but it feels like we're so close to having a real future together. And he's just being a stubborn MF who's making a mistake he'll regret. And I'm a stubborn MF too who deserves love. I want to get over this, but I can't make my insides change yet. He blocked me a few weeks ago, so there's nothing I can do except try to move on. 24. I wouldn't call it an obsession, but he messed me up so badly that almost every part of my life is still affected by what he did, even all these years later. 25. She showed up in my life when I wasn't even looking for love. She made me realize how lonely I was, and it didn't help that she felt like a breath of fresh air. She was beautiful, smart, and we had so much in common. We're both nudists, we both write erotica, we liked the same kinks, introduced each other to new ones, and we could talk for hours. I'm not obsessed, but she's been really hard to get over. She's the real deal, and I hope she's found someone special, someone better than me. 26. Physically, she was perfect, but she was toxic as hell, and the relationship was almost entirely one-sided. 27. Because I'm extremely lonely. 28. I'm not. I actually appreciate her. She taught me what I deserve. Bye, Felicia. 29. I think about everything she said near the end of our relationship, and how hard she tried to keep us together. I think about how well we got along and how much we enjoyed just talking. I think about the way she looked at me when she was really listening, and the little sound she always made when she liked the food at a new place we tried. I think about the memes we sent each other. I think about the gossip talks we used to have. I think about the future plans we made. Honestly, I only think about her. Everything I do is in the hope that she'll come back someday. I dream about her probably 3 nights a week, and she's been gone a little over a year now. She hasn't spoken to me in more than 15 months. We were together almost 6 years, and before this, the longest we ever went without talking was 3 days. It feels like giving up on her would be like giving up on life itself. But I'm 35, and it feels like time is running out to find someone. I just want my love back. I just want one more chance to show her how much I love her. I feel borderline psychotic because the thing that makes me happiest is imagining the conversation we'll have if we ever talk again. I don't even know how much of real life I'm actually living anymore. She was my entire world. 30. She was good looking, and I liked having sex with her. But she was always pretty indifferent toward me. I felt like I always had to try to impress her. She broke up with me, obviously. 31. She's still hot AF. 32. I want to move on, but I'm not attractive enough to find anyone new. Now I'm just stuck alone, thinking about the time when I did have someone, even though she was a terrible girlfriend. 33. Not obsessed, but I think about her sometimes because she was the hottest girl I've ever been with and the segs was insane. 34. I was happy when I was with her. 35. I stopped seeing her because of her controlling parents and because she couldn't make a big decision no matter how much I sacrificed for her. She couldn't leave her abusive situation, I don't even know why, so I left. It's been a year and a half since we broke up, and I still have her pictures on my phone. They're just there, I don't even look at them, I just don't delete them. I don't stalk her or anything like that. The pictures are just still there. It kinda lingers. 36. He's the only person who ever really understood me, and honestly, he still does. I miss that man like crazy, and I'd go back 1,000 times if my dad wouldn't be so disappointed in me. I guess seeing him once in a while has to be enough. 37. When I first met her, she checked every box. Looks, emotions, everything. And the honeymoon phase was intense as hell. She was the one who chased me and asked me to be together after 6 months. I really thought we were in it for the long run. We moved in together after a year, and after that, the change was like night and day. The best way I can explain it is that she had a lot of unresolved problems, leaned on me for emotional and financial support, and then wouldn't give anything back. I was completely worn out, mentally and emotionally. I never got real answers, just gaslighting and breadcrumbing. I was miserable. I finally ended it after 3 years, and I should have done it way earlier. We stayed living together as roommates for about a month and a half, and it was torture sharing a place with someone you still love while she was just there. I tried to stay calm and not show weakness, but sometimes I cracked and would tear up when we talked. I felt like a weak piece of shit. She finally got a move-in date for her new apartment, and waiting for that day was horrible. Like an idiot, I even helped her move because her friends bailed on her at the last minute. On the final day, she came to pick up the rest of her stuff and her cats, which I loved a lot. A few days before that, she thanked me for being calm and friendly, and even mentioned maybe being friends someday. Then she came in acting all casual and grabbed her last boxes. And then everything blew up. Where's my wine fridge? Me, the one you told me to get rid of months ago? Someone picked it up a few weeks ago. You gave it to them. Me, yeah, the motor didn't work, so I told him to just take it. For free? Me, I didn't charge him, and he took it home. So for free? Me, obviously. I just said I didn't charge him. So you can't just say the word free? Me, does it matter? It didn't work, and you texted me to get rid of it. I thought that covered it. So yes, for free. Wow, how stupid are you? You can't say the word free? You're so dense, I swear to God. Just a sad, stupid little man. Me, you need to leave. Don't frickin' talk to me like that. I frickin' helped you move all your shit, dealt with your emotional and verbal abuse for so long, and I just wanted things to be calm. Get the fruck out of my house. She stormed out and slammed the door. That was 6 months ago. A lot more happened after that, but I still feel stupid for thinking about her. She treated me like shit, but I still loved her. I still do. I wish I had answers. I wish I knew why she hated me so much. I wish I could live that first year again. I know I'll never get the answers I want. Why did she throw away 3 years over a broken wine fridge? No idea. It just sucks that she's still in my head every day. Sometimes I want to be petty, but what's the point? I just feel stupid. She'll move on, probably already has other guys. But darn, she was everything I wanted. Avoidant attachment people frickin' suck. 38. Because we're friends, and there's more than one layer to it. The bad part is that I'm way too obsessed with proving that I can keep healthy relationships, that I can do the work to maintain them, and honestly, I'm not even totally sure I can. If I'm not physically in the room with someone, I'm not really present, and that's a big problem. The good part is I've been working on it for a while now, and I do get a little better over time. I do best when someone can handle a bit of extra emotional effort and actually tell me if I'm not meeting expectations or needs. The part that makes it all bad again is that even though it's fair to expect people to speak up for themselves, the line between them telling me what they need and me being able to anticipate it depends on mutual interest, and I'm still learning. So I'm going to mess it up, and that won't work long enough for me to really get into a rhythm. Especially with friends, where there are clear limits on what people open up about. At the end of the day, this is mostly on me, like 80 to 90%. I haven't had romantic feelings for them since it ended, but I was definitely way too invested before I understood what was going on and why. 39. She was easily the best sex partner I could ever imagine. We never argued about that, ever. She even said herself that she should have been a corn star. 40. Emotionally, I loved her more than anyone I've ever known. And somehow, she loved me even more than that. Logically, the relationship was a disaster, and bad for both of us. Tons of stress, lots of fights, mental health problems that needed constant work and control. But it's really hard to convince your emotional side of all that and not just remember how good it felt to hold her and kiss her for hours. 41. Because of the memories we had, the plans we made for the future, and the way he ended things without even trying to fight for us. He's still a cheating a-hole, but it still hurts because he was my first. 42. We were together for 5 years, and we had this bond. I had never loved or trusted anyone before him. That's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe so I can keep bringing you more of these stories. Thanks for sticking around till the end. See you next time, and take care.